through what you were working through in the spring, being extra precautious, and where you're at now?
Yeah, just similar stuff with my knee. Nothing that was holding me out. Kind of just being precautionary and taking care of it. Anytime you play the last weekend of the year, it's a long season and just getting healthy. So.
Brian, with a couple new faces on the starting offensive line, just how did you kind of handle that being the center?
They're guys that have been in the room. Not counting out Bruss if he's the guy in at right guard, but guys who have all played meaningful snaps, and guys I trust, guys in the room trust, the coaches trust. So I'm really just excited for them to get the opportunities, and whether that's Joe coming in at left tackle. He was playing in the playoffs this year for us when Witt was down, and Coleman's played in games, and Bruss coming in. Looking forward to seeing what he can do, and just being with him for the short time and OTAs. He's about all the right stuff. Works hard and tough kid, and I think he's going to be a pretty good player for us. So just excited to see how everything unfolds, and we'll get an opportunity to work a couple different things. Whatever the coaches have in the plan, but just excited to see how it goes.
How did yours and Matthew's relationship develop last year, and especially that nonverbal stuff that you had mentioned? Actually, last year was really important to you.
Yeah.
How does that develop, and how do you guys sort of feel each other out still, even now?
Yeah, just having another year under our belts. He comes into a new system, and just getting to be able to work through that with him. Firsthand, you kind of see where the bumps are, and see where we're missing, see where we're doing things good, and just keep building on that relationship. It's not necessarily something that sticks out alarmingly, but just kind of little subtle things you figure out along the way, and it's been awesome to work with him. Like I've said a million times, I can't say how grateful I am for him, and just how he approaches his job and what he does for our offense. So having a guy like that, you don't really worry about stuff like that. We're going to have answers, and when things come up, it's not, like I said, a big problem. It's just stuff we work through, and we've been able to figure everything out to this point, and I don't see that changing going forward. So excited to keep growing in this offense with him, and another year under his belt in this offense is going to be pretty scary. Just what he was able to do for us last year.
With all you have gone through injury-wise your first few seasons,
yeah.
How does it feel to be able to go into this training camp having been paid and earned you that second contract?
Yeah, that's another challenge for me. I got to humble myself every day, and keep kind of taking that approach. Like, I am a rookie, and when guys get big heads and things like that, I know how that works out too. Of seeing that, and I've seen it with myself a little bit, just getting lax in certain times when things are going good, and just kind of keeping your finger on what you need to get better at, and I want to keep getting better. I'm not I'm obviously super happy with how last year worked out and this off season worked out, but anybody can do something once and get lucky. I want to keep stacking blocks and just keep getting better.
Connected to that, what has an offseason been like as a Super Bowl champion? Do you have to replace some motivation there? Do you have to play mind games with yourself to get yourself in the right position?
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be anytime something like that happens, it's easy to get complacent a little here and there, and having the season go longer than it did. Your rest is going longer into the off season, and you have a shorter window to get ready for this season. But you get to that point where you've celebrated enough, and I know we just had the ring ceremony the other night, but just ready to keep building, and like I just said, kind of just prove myself right and keep stacking blocks, keep getting better.
What is it though in terms of that idea of turning the page? There seems to be a lot of people who are of one accord of the messaging of that was last year, this is this year, but what is it about that maybe psychologically as a group that makes you believe that that's actually possible to mentally compartmentalize that way?
We want to win the Super Bowl this year. I think that's the standard here, and that's the goal. And when you let things like that kind of creep in, that's the space and areas where you get worse. And I think we have a mature enough team and an awesome coaching staff that knows if that's how we're going to approach this, things aren't going to go well. So not go well, but we're not going to accelerate like we want to. And just having an understanding and an awareness of that it's hard to repeat as Super Bowl champs, and we don't want anything but that. So just got to stay on it, keep focusing, and just understand and realize that now we're the ones with our targets on our back. We're not chasing the Tampa Bays, the teams that won the year before. So we're going to have a tough schedule this year, and we're going to get everyone's best shot, and that's things we know going into the season, and bring it on. I don't know. So.
All good?
Just one more from me. Rob Havenstein, we just talked to him, and
Yeah.
he's very quick to delegate, saying there's lots of leadership in the room, and understand that. But in terms of his status, his experience, and sort of just his presence in
Yeah.
general,
Big
what
guy.
what is that like for you guys? Not necessarily as it relates to Witt retiring, but what it is now and how you guys feel that room developing.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what you said, he said, we do have a lot of natural leaders in there, and losing an Andrew Whitworth, obviously, you can't do that. The wisdom and experience he brings to the room, something that we're going to miss. But at the same time, he's been mentoring, the room for the last 4 or 5 years that I've been there. So everyone knows what it looks like, knows how to do the right things, and knows what it takes. Due to guys like him, John Sullivan, Roger Saffold, whoever it was that was kind of the, in our shoes before. Just always great leaders in the room, and that's the standard, in our offensive line room, and just thankful for having guys like that to, kind of show us the ropes and how to be professionals and things of that nature. So I don't think there's, going to be any fall off, and, guys are, they know what's expected, and, what roles they're going to have to, get voids filled and things like that. So be good.
And then, sorry, if I could just one more from me. So when you have a rookie like Logan, and he is familiar with some of the guys already on the roster, do you want him to come out of his shell right away? Do you want him to find his way naturally? How does that kind of work in terms of getting to know him?
Yeah, just at the end of the day, it comes down to football, and obviously the best players are going to hang around, and those are the guys you want playing next to you. And just going back to Rob and things like that, guys are going to set the standard and kind of show what's expected. And he's been awesome, and very. I don't know, he's been a sponge, I'd say. He wants to learn, wants to be good, and it's encouraging to see guys come in with the mindset that they want to learn, they want to get better, as opposed to kids who have already arrived kind of in their heads. And we don't really bring people like that into our organization. So it's looking forward to working with him, and he's a good guy. So.
Right. Going back to Rob for just a second, how would you describe him as a leader? What's that style look like?
Yeah, he's not necessarily the cheerleader, but I don't know if good leaders are those types of people. So he definitely leads by example, does all the right things. He's the guy who's putting in the extra hours, and you guys are at practice. He's always on the field late, working with rookies, trying to help guys get better, and just willing to do what he can to help others and help the team. And he's just that guy. He knows it's not about him, and it's the type of guys you respect and want to emulate.
Brian, now you got the other teams chasing you guys. How do you remove any type of pressure of having to repeat as Super Bowl champion?
Coach McVay always says the quotes, "We don't feel pressure, we apply it." I think that's a very real thing, and that's kind of outside noise that we try not to let affect us. And we're focused on us at the end of the day, whether we're playing the Buffalo Bills first game of the year, or I don't know, they put USC in the NFL this season. I don't know. We're focused on us. So I don't know. So we're just focused on us trying to get better, and it's that simple. So when you let that outside noise and outside worry about what other people are thinking and saying, then you're playing their game and worrying about them. We're worried about us and what we can improve on, not anybody else. So.
Cool. All right.